ready?
3, 2, 1. Dad, come on, man. What are you doing?
Oh, I did it on purpose. But you guys did
Okay,
well.
yeah, we got it. Today, we're diving deep into the digital backbone of modern architecture. We often talk about the what and the why of design, but rarely do we talk about the how. Join us today with Ahmed, a BIM coordinator at one of the most prestigious practices in the world, with a career spanning over 6 years on the construction side before transitioning into the high-level design coordination. Ahmed brings a unique 360-degree perspective on how buildings actually come to life. So today, please welcome Ahmed.
Thank you.
Welcome to Drawing the Line. And,
Thank you so much.
We've been wanting to do BIM with you for quite a while. Thank you very much for sparing us the time. And I think this is going to be one of those topics where everyone's really like keen to hear, because I'm very super excited.
Yes.
Because it touch bases on AI, touch bases on what we work with every single day. Yep. So to start off, obviously everyone in the architecture industry knows what BIM is. Yep. But to you, what is BIM? How is it? Is it different to what we understand?
Yeah, thank you for having me first. And it's lovely environment, lovely people as well. And yeah, it's my pleasure to be here, to be honest. Yeah, BIM is when I started to talk about BIM, it was around 2008-9. It was for them is some magic things, transferring from CAD. And it was okay, BIM, we'll use BIM. It means I will draw line, the building will be here. So it was this misconception about the terminology about BIM was actually somehow overwhelming the people who want to work in BIM, because too much expectation from the client or whoever, and the consultant want to hire someone, no Revit or no BIM. I think it was at the very beginning it was just Revit, and then it developed BIM. Yeah. So it was they was having this expectation that you draw line, elevation section, and 3D it's here. So I started with BIM by coincidence, it was. I hate 3D Max.
Because you're an architect, right?
Yes.
You're a qualified architect, so
exactly.
BIM is your passion, I assume, within the industry. Yeah.
So I started because I really hated 3D Max. I still hate it. So and we have to do 3D, massing for our project in the uni, and SketchUp was okay. I like SketchUp as well. However, I wanted to explore what is there, what is the other solution for having a 3D model. And it was 2007 or 8, because I started 2007.
Same time as me. This guy is a baby.
Yeah, you guys look awfully young.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So there was the option that came in my mind was Blender. Of course 3D Max, but I took 3 courses and I hated it. Okay, so one of the options was Revit. No one was teaching Revit at that time, and it was, I think it was just started as an Autodesk. They just bought it. So I said, okay, I will learn this. And when I learned it, I felt it's interesting. You build the project in a way it will be built, how it will be built. The 3D Max, you can just have the scale, change the proportion, and have a render very nice, but it's not giving you the real proportion of the. And this is how it started with me. I want to build wall. It will be I need to give the information for the wall, and it will come as I wanted it.
That's super interesting. I was just going to take a pause there.
Yeah.
Because thinking about 3ds Max and all the other massing or 3D software, it's very more you think of it, you draw a 3D cube, or you're pulling a plane, right?
Yep.
Like Rhino.
Exactly.
But the main difference with BIM or the building information model is that it actually provides information of the element that you're drawing. So you're almost thinking of it as you construct, rather than you're just creating or extruding
a volume shape. or a void.
Exactly. Yeah. But to be honest, like it's not the best tool to start a design thinking. I don't agree to start to think with Revit, to be honest.
Okay.
Unless you have a solid idea in your
Concept.
mind or concept, and then you can start with.
Okay.
And this is actually what I like. I'm still teaching Revit as a Autodesk instructor, like certified from Autodesk. So
Give me some tutorials.
yeah, so I started actually when I started to learn Revit for myself. No one knowing Revit at that time. So the professors talked to me okay, let's teach us what is Revit, and I start to teach. So I found another passion about myself, I can teach, and I started to teach student professors, and so I was well known as somehow in my uni and that I know Revit. So, and I start to feel okay, this is the tool that when I tell my student or anyone I talk with, you have to build as it's gonna be construct. So the wall, it's built from that level to that level. That's how it will be constructed
On site. Yeah.
So in the site. So
That's so key. I think you build the model as if you were to construct it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Because you can't, whilst you can give it a height, but it's the levels that dictates where the wall starts and ends.
Exactly. So this will change somehow your way of dealing with Revit. So if you have this idea in your mind while you are starting learning Revit or implementing what you have learned, you will find it a little bit easier for you. You will have the tasks, you will divide it in a tiny tasks, and it will feel everything is connected somehow in a nice way.
I was going to ask, so in terms of, when you started working in Revit and in BIM, did the terminology such as BIM level 1, level 2, level 3, did they exist at the time? Or?
At that time, no.
So how did the evolution come about?
I was thinking about it, to be honest, because I was thinking, who invented these levels?
And what is the difference between those levels?
Exactly. So, of course, while you are feeling the passion about, okay, I knew my tool now, I am very good at it, and okay, what is this about? And it was related to something called BIM. So, what is BIM? So I start to learn about BIM. So somehow after 2 or 3 years, it comes the terminology of BIM level 1, 2, 3. And within these levels as well, there is the dimension 3D or 4D, 5D, 6D. So because we built with 3D and we add extra dimension to the models, so it can be, we will go through it. But levels is, I think it's because it's more about collaboration.
Okay.
So right now in any projects, if you are building a small house, okay, you testing the design within yourself, I think this is a basic this is a basic level, a starting level of the BIM or Revit. You know the information for yourself.
BIM level 0.
Yes, exactly. Which is, I think, it is good. Yeah. It is good for some cases. So when you increase the kind of collaboration between disciplines, you add extra layer of the levels.
So when you have structures model incorporated, M&E model.
Yes, exactly. So different disciplines or even different consultant doing architecture, interior, or sometimes architecture with having between different consultants zones. So you collaborate these.
And that's level 2 or?
This is level
1.5.
1.
Oh, we're still at 1.
Yeah.
Still early stage.
Shit.
So I think now, of course, by the time they update, but I think it's the BIM influencer update these kind of things. It's not in any standard. It was in some of the UK standard, but it's not. It's withdrawn right now. We have the ISO. So the more collaborative you are adding to the BIM process, the level it will increase. Okay. So it's not a defined thing in a standard that now we want level BIM level 2 in a contract. No. But we adding level of detail right now. So the level of detail of the model itself.
Yes.
How much detail we add, either graphically or non-graphically. Graphically, we add extra detail, how the profile of the curtain panel will be, and how the connection between the floors and raised floors, for example, the finishes. So this is graphically, we increase the level of details per stage. And this is contractually, it is like, it should be mentioned in any contract. And non-graphically information, when we increase the level of detail, you add more information to it. Like this floor is timber finishes and with a base of concrete, for example. And you added a layer of information. And maybe like more, it has like this wall has a fire rate of 1 hour. It has an acoustic ratio like that time. So you add more layers of information, so the level of detail increased.
That will bring you to level 2. Or BIM
yes. So for my perspective, and the levels is the more collaborative you are, the more levels you enhance. But it's not something you agreed within your consultants. Like if you have a project, you will not say, we will work in BIM level 2, for example. But it's something like to teach how the collaboration in the BIM world is. So now the level 3 is like combine or collaborate with AI now, for example. So how you collaborate the data with AI, so you can have.
I don't ever think I've seen a project that's level 3.
No, so I think we've jumped the gun in the conversation, but I think we'll just talk about it now. One of the questions was going to be about sort of AI integration.
No, but it's AI is sort of a recent thing, right? But even before AI, I've never seen a project that's in BIM level 3.
No.
Maybe I've heard of it in a governmental contracted project where they require a model to be simultaneously updated in a cloud environment or something. And as the structure engineer update theirs is directly sent up to the cloud and then reflected so that the architectural team can see it.
Exactly.
But I have never experienced that.
So is BIM level 3 equivalent of a digital twin?
Somehow, but digital twin is
completely separate.
It has a different level.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
So we'll talk about digital twin after.
We'll talk about after.
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually.
Okay.
But let me say, I think, like, it's my personal perspective as well. This kind of definition of the level is so personal right now. Because it doesn't have a very solid standard.
Right. It's completely arbitrary.
It's not defined yet in the code somewhere.
But what is defined is the dimension of the model, like 3D, like 2D, of course. CAD is 2D. 3D when you add the third dimension of the model. 4D when you add the time to it. The fourth dimension when
there
you
is
add
a fourth dimension?
What is that? Till 7D.
What? Okay.
You're going to break it down, Ahmed.
Okay, this is great. We're getting gold here. So, okay, let's break this down. Well, I feel like I've gone into astrology
like,
or like...
exactly, like interstellar stuff.
But it's cool, though. It feels like we're somehow playing God in a BIM world. We're adding different... Because imagine... Right, it's essentially a 3D model. If you think of it as a game, it's essentially a 3D environment that we created, that we start to build stuff. And then we're adding this sort of horizontal line, vertical line, and then we're adding a third dimension, and now fourth dimension, all the way up to... So okay, what's fourth?
Okay, the fourth dimension is we add time to these elements. So when we add the time to, for example, like if we have a project of zones or clusters, so we will have that cluster, but per level as well. So the contractor, when he come to the project and he want to do like a proper estimation of what time this project will gonna be.
Time frame.
So exactly the phases. So to have a accurate one, of course it will come later. So you add more information to that elements, like level 1 in that zone. You give a specific code for it. And level 2 and the fit out, it will have a different code for it. And you put these codes into the element inside the Revit model or whatever the application you're using for BIM. So the the one who's using the planning, the site logistics or whatever, so he can see the timeline and he can see actually like everything like built, however, and he can plan what should be expected in the site. So when the logistic will come, how he will do the mobilization plan for the site, so he can know exactly now the budget as well. So he can plan the budget is the fifth dimension. So he can add cost to.
Can we add this into Revit?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
What about inflation? Would it adjust according to the real time?
Yeah, this could be done as well, but yeah, so far this is a very good, a good one. Like at the time I was in construction, there wasn't a big inflation, but like now.
I'm going to give this my 2-penny notes to Revit, to Autodesk. I want to be paid for them.
No, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But you can add, yeah, exactly. So you add the time and then you add the cost as well of the elements. So we have, for example, IWS system, the internal wall system, which is like one of the types, per meter, it will be cost whatever, like $100 or so. Yeah. So you add these to the elements. So you will have per the budget, per the time frame, what the budget you need to plan for it. Wow. Of course, you can add the cost of the labors and anything you can add it as well. So this is the extra layer.
I guess this is more like a quantity surveyor then, isn't it?
Of what, sorry?
Quantity surveyors.
Yeah, quantity surveyor. Yeah, exactly. But you link it to the 3D model, so you can visualize it as well. So you can visualize the time frame, and we did that many times. Wow. You can see how like the crane comes and how it because this is in a very like some of the complicated projects, the crane logistics is very important to plan properly.
Something architects don't think of.
We don't always consider that.
Exactly. So this, I'm really glad of my career, to be honest, that I went to the construction client and now here. So I feel like, okay, I got this kind of information that I never thought about it before. So yeah, the sixth dimension is the sustainability and the carbon analysis. So you add this information as well to the elements, how this will, if it's sustainable enough for the project, the light.
Like the embodied carbon.
Yeah, the world carbon.
LCA.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost having a built-in toolkit in Revit.
Is this through plugins?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so a one-click LCA perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So
that's cool. So instead of physically inputting all this information into another toolkit, which somewhat designed online or something,
do it all
it's already there.
One application.
And then it gives you the embodied carbon as you're building.
And you can adjust accordingly if you wish.
Yeah, but okay, so the base is Revit.
Yeah.
But every engineers or every part of this scope, they have a specific software as well. But they took the base from Revit. Like they can have the 3D model from Revit, and they can use the analysis or the logistics or the planning in different projects. Sometimes Navis works for the planning. Sometimes for carbon analysis, I can't remember the name, but it has different software. For the cost, there is some with Autodesk as well, some softwares for the cost, but there is another softwares for the cost. Yep. But the base, it comes from one software, which is Revit or ArchiCAD or whatever the software you use. But this is a kind of the challenge as well, like that we need to consider as a BIM coordinators and as designers, we need to consider this, all of these things if the project will go further to these ones. Yeah. So you have to adjust how the model, like the modeling methods, and you have how to maintain the information on it. I can give a lot of examples in our some of our projects, but so it's if it's not planned and maintained in a proper way, it's gonna be a little bit of mess in the future, or with the other consultant that he will suffer a little bit. So considering this one while you are learning Revit or you are working in Revit, I think it will help really.
That's incredible.
And what's the seventh dimension?
Seventh dimension is the operation. So in the facility management,
FM, yeah.
yeah, when the project is like operating right now, you connect this model to and add the information of the manual of the equipment,
Yes.
the
Of course,
asset,
yes.
M&E.
Yeah.
yeah, the how like this, like if it's like the real asset, you can have number of it, you have the like the QR code or barcode for it, you have. So you add and the rooms, like the rooms in Revit, you have to have like some information called copy. I don't know.
Copy.
So
What's
I don't know what it stands for, but it's another, when you have a property.
yeah,
someone can
exactly.
explain.
Yeah, it's like if you have like all the extra not extra, all the information needed for the software for facility management to operate their assets, you add it to the elements or the rooms, so he can easily extract this information, operate it in their software somehow, and can have a live access to what is happening.
That's actually quite interesting. Again, we don't have to mention a specific project, but there's a project, and then it's an office project, and then they have post-tension slabs, and then someone comes in, a new sort of group of people wants to take 2 floors, and then they want to open the slab. Had they not known that it's a PT slab, and then drill a hole in there,
Through the cable, then.
they're basically cutting the tendons off, and then that will be a catastrophic. So that's when I guess the operational side becomes very important.
For facilities
So
management.
it's essentially, we're talking about a whole life cycle of design.
Exactly.
From, okay, not saying doing concept in BIM, but we know it's possible.
Well, there's conceptual massing, yeah.
Or in Revit,
Yeah.
But from like, say, UK terms, from conceptual stage 2 onwards, you can have an entire model, have enough level of detail all the way to operation, and it has BIM, building information model. You will have enough information within that model to actually, it's like a manual essentially.
Yeah.
But
it is.
at the end,
Yeah,
It is.
That's super interesting. But do you think your experience with, as you mentioned, but I'll let you get into the detail of that. So tell us about like how you got to where you are today. What sort of parties that you've worked with?
So I'm still saying to myself that I was.
Sorry, there's a spider. Just cool. Yeah. We don't have to cut it out. I think that was
fine.
quite
It's
nice.
cute.
Yeah.
So I was saying to myself that I'm so lucky enough that I has been working in different sectors as well in my career. I'm old as well, like I'm 14 years experience, so not that much, but still. So when I started my career as like Revit, when I was a student, I was trying to work in some consultants, of course, to practice my the design and architecture. And I feel like I really miss the architecture side of even here. So, but my first job, like my first real job after my graduation, it was in a construction in Saudi Arabia, in the expansion of the Holy Mosque.
Oh, really?
In Mecca. So it was a massive project.
Yeah.
So that project, I was a little bit afraid of that if it will be like, it was like my first career in that massive mega project. However, it taught me many things because I wasn't interested in BIM. I like Revit, and I was okay. That BIM is very nice, but still I like design. Like I really appreciate the designs. But in that position, I have learned how much the coordination of the details is. Like you need to coordinate like all the details and it need to be accurate because someone is like now is working on it on the site, or tomorrow he will do that in the site. So you have to be very accurate, give the exact information, do the proper coordination between all the the sub-consultant with the manufacturers as well.
Yep.
So it was the career of getting the real world of the site and the construction, and it taught me when you do the design, you have to be very considerate about these kind of things, because we were getting the design update every 2 weeks from the consultants. And sometimes after you, like, we are sending to the manufacturers like tomorrow, and it's completely new design. Not completely new design, but like, you know, the amount of details and pattern and like, because it's a lot of pattern, a lot of coordination between the electrical and everything. Like it's, so you need to do that again. And it taught me to be patient a little bit more, because this is part of my job. So we got update. So yeah, let's delete what we have done and let's mold it again.
Just I assume clash detection would have been a massive part of this.
Yes, it is. It is really a big one. So because you need to, because sometimes your eyes will not get all these kind of clashes. So you need to run the clashes. You need to run to like 2,000 clashes per day to detect what it should be a proper clash to assign it to the consultant, or what it need to be approved. So you will learn what, like sometimes like you are just new student, you have to know exactly what should be neglected and what shouldn't be neglected. So this as well is something that you need to be considerate, and you have to learn, like you have to ask what the nature of your career or nature of your scope right now. You have to ask what should be acceptable in that stage or not, and what should be, okay, I can neglect it.
And sort out later.
Just out of curiosity, from that experience that you just mentioned, do you think actually using BIM is more or less efficient? Because if someone is building a 3D model to that level of detail, for the contractor side or construction side to issue out those drawings, isn't it easier if you just did it a 2D detail plan rather than submit a model?
Sometimes yes.
Right.
Because of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, right? Because
really?
Yeah.
Because I'm referring to now, if it is, for example, Masjid al-Haram, that project's huge. So I guess you'd have done it in zones and phases.
Yeah.
But would 2D be relevant for that scale and for that size? I'll show you photos of it. It's a huge expansion. I mean, you might know the figures. It's over 15, 20 years and accommodates around 3.5, 4 million people maybe, or maybe more.
Exactly. So it's a huge project.
Huge mosque, yeah.
So that's where it comes. You have to be more practical as well. So if you are, of course, 3D is vital, but in some cases you have to allow for some flexibility because you have to build. And the builder already have the experience, sometimes more than you.
Of course.
Like way more than me. And they used to do that for like long time ago. They coordinate with only 2D drawings or only sometimes. So sometimes you have to have this kind of flexibility on this one. Every time you got experience, you will allow these kind of things. Because you know what it should be allowed and what it shouldn't. But sometimes, no, I have to see it in 3D. I have to see it with everything around it. So I think I remember one of the columns we were coordinating, and we need to model the 3D of the nails and screw.
Wow.
So to see how when the what's called the conduits of the microphones and everything, if it's that sizes would be applicable in the future when it's expand with the heating or whatever. So that kind of thing that you need to see how allowance it is for only one screw.
Wow.
Because I was going to say, because then with the BIM now, that makes sense. So in that project scenario, or any project where 10 years down the line, perhaps they might expand.
Yes.
As in add an expansion to the building. Same way regarding the PT slab. If you have it all modeled in BIM correctly, then you know where it's appropriate to drill, where it's appropriate to add more weight, more tension.
Exactly.
So I guess 2D might allow you to do something quicker, but having it in 3D, yes, it may feel longer, but it's
definitely no.
Better
if we have the option to do a 3D, it's definitely. But the pace of the construction is insane. Is insane. It was too much. So sometimes you have to it's 2D. Do sketch and that's it, because it's insane. And the money talk. So we need to, now we hired someone to have the drills, all the drills in the first floor. We need all the location exactly. So you need to do it right now. Like how come? So
Because otherwise the contractor is waiting on site.
yes, exactly, and it costs money. So he will come tomorrow, and it will be more than like 10,000 or 20,000.
So there is plus and minus of having almost that level of detail in the 3D model.
Yeah.
But I guess at the same time, this goes to the fourth dimension. There's a timeline of how how it gets developed, and I think when it gets to end user as well, I think that having the record of that, it's pretty crucial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
I was going to say, so then after that experience, going back to the story that we're just saying, so from construction, you went and worked for client side.
The client side, yes. Exactly.
In the Middle East? Still,
in the Saudi Arabia as well.
Saudi Arabia.
So
what's that like?
it's amazing.
More money?
I'm gonna
Guys, do not take this as a career advice, okay?
So I would say why it's amazing. So it's amazing because I was in hospitals.
Right.
So I was only working in healthcare, and it was very rewarding for me. So, and I was touching base with design, construction, facility management, everything, like from the even feasibility study. So you need to study and coordinate from all the information you are to do the proper design. So coordinating from having the information from the doctors, nurses, even patients, to what you need for that spaces. So what exactly you need. So taking this one and to do the design itself, and then afterward, like you do the design, you do in BIM, you coordinate with the contractors, and the contractor, like you see how they are building, and you revise, like you do as a design guardian, but then facility management come, and you coordinate, of course, with all of these one beforehand. And afterward, you see like the after it's built, people using it, people are happy. So that's why it was amazing for me as an experience, not as a client, like the usual or typical scenario of like I'm on the client side, I can ask whatever I want. So no, it was just rewarding because the sector I was working on it was very nice.
But being on the client side, I was just wondering what would be your like everyday? Was it mainly on coordination of the model? Because obviously on the design side, you're constantly building.
Yep.
And then on the construction side, I guess you're basically chasing your tail all the time. But on the client side,
so in the client side, actually, you have to. I think the first thing in the client side, he has to have his own branding and standard. And if he has a solid one, and you built it for him, then you can easily hand this one to the consultants, contractors, facility management. And as a client side for me, after I did that in like I think 2 years, because it was a massive things like having for healthcare and hospitals, clinic, have all type of material, all type of furniture that it need to be only specifically for healthcare, building in one library and give it to the consultants or contractors, and even like the manufacturers, asset managers. So all of these people are involving in that process. So once you build the branding or the standard for the client, your role is to oversee and to check if all the appointing party, like you, the consultants or the contractors or whatever, is following the same standard or not, the same branding or not, the coordination is going well or not. So it's more of,
design guardian, I guess.
Yeah,
that's what I was
guardian.
about to say.
Exactly.
You're essentially the design guardian or the guardian of the project. Yeah.
But it is not. It is tricky that you have to have an experience in all that sectors.
Yep.
Because you are a client side. If you said no, I don't like it, you have to say why.
Why? Yeah, of course.
So if he argues you, no, this is a standard, you have to know the standard well, so you can argue with him. So it is a bit tricky that you have to study a lot, to be honest. You have to know what you are doing. When you provide something or information, you have to know why you are doing this information. So I think this is the the thing that you have to take care of when you are in the client side.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
So have you worked on a healthcare project in the UK or in non-Middle East?
Luckily, yes. When I went to Foster, I worked in one of the projects that is a medical research center in Oxford as a BIM coordinator. So I was lucky enough to get this one.
I guess for those that are interested in perhaps making a transition to Middle East or want to understand,
Yeah.
what regulations do the Middle East follow compared to what we utilize
UK?
here? Are they similar or?
Somehow, yeah, it is similar.
Yeah.
Regarding design-wise,
But on what terms? Like from
Like,
design, yeah.
Like building regulations or healthcare has their own, for example, the floor has to be certain resistance for slippage. And
Yeah.
is that all the same?
Not exactly the same, but the concept, yes, it has to be the same. Like,
I find that the Middle East has adopted a lot of
American-
UK regs.
UK regs.
Like the CDM reg, they
Yes.
basically copy and pasted it.
Okay.
yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
it is transferable.
But already Saudi Arabia did a very nice job actually to like having a very, very solid standard for their OWIN for the whether healthcare or BIM or whatever. So they already did a very, very nice job. Of course, it's adapted from like some standards, but it developed to be function with the Middle Eastern projects and the climate and everything.
So now with those knowledge of being in the contractor side or construction side, and then now being in the also having the experience of being in the client side, and now obviously you're now shifting into the design side. Obviously, with all of that knowledge, that will already assist you to almost have like a have like a profit vision, if you may, sort of foreseeing what could happen if you don't do a certain thing right later down the road.
I believe
Is that
so.
why you're so hard on us all the time? Because you just know.
Is it?
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, I think somehow yes. I think it affects how decision you are taking. Like when you build, how you federate the models, how you think about how they connect together, how each model should be, what type of information we need to build in that elements of the inside the model itself, how to make it future-proof for any later stages or expansion or whatever. So I'm not saying that I am doing that 100% because every project has its own and special and unique situation, and different client affect, different country affect, different team actually, and different partners or design decision is affecting. So it is good to have the experience to be flexible. I think it is very, very good with the experience that this kind of flexibility is allowing us to expand in a proper way, in a future-proof way.
It's interesting because we obviously started in architecture, right? And
No, I'm in architecture.
No,
You're starting
architecture. So meaning our career is architecture first, right? What I was trying to get to is, I know a lot of colleagues that I've worked with who, or just people in general in the built environment who started in architecture as either an architect or a technologist, and then they've then transitioned to construction side or client side, and then vice versa. So, but you've done it reverse.
Yes.
So the reason why people go from architecture to maybe client side to construction side for the money.
Yeah.
But you I guess have the knowledge now of understanding how it's constructed.
Yeah. But
and then what the
money.
clients. Yes. So you've almost gone the reverse order in terms of money, maybe. I don't know, right?
Exactly.
But in terms of knowledge, it's the correct trajectory because you've worked on site, you've understood the nuances of the on-site situation. Then you've understood the client expectations, why clients want certain things according to their own brand guideline. And then now, from an architectural design perspective, you understand exactly why certain disciplines require certain level of information, or they are so harsh sometimes, saying, no, we're not going to do this because it has to be done this way. I guess you've got that knowledge.
Yep. But I'm. It's not necessary to be that. This is like the right approach.
No,
to
of
the
course,
right step. So it depends on from experience. I wasn't planning to be in the design side here. To be honest, it just came like that. So. But yeah, it helps me a lot. Like being in the construction client side, it helps me a lot in that position, to be honest.
There was one burning question that I wanted to ask. Now that you've you know all the ends of construction or within the BIM world, what should architects and designers be doing more in design stage or in stage 3, stage 4, when we're building models? What should we be thinking ahead, not to trigger any catastrophic, problems? But is there something that we're lacking as architects, as assistants? What should we be thinking, or is our way of thinking how to build a model fundamentally different, or it should be adjusted, adapted to make this whole process a bit more?
It's a very, very, very good question, but yet the answer is very complicated. Not complicated.
There's many facets.
Yeah,
I guess it's not.
We are architects at the end. We are design spaces for the people. We have to first think about the space itself for how people will use it, how people will be happy on it, how the journey of the patient or the journey of the whatever the users will be. This comes first, I believe, and then in the model you have, when we start talking, like, consider that when you are doing that, how when we are building, it's building for construction, building in the site. How my wall, it will be built in the construction or in the site itself. So whenever I model something and to see that my design, somehow we need to consider all other aspects, like structure-wise, mechanical and ventilation, how this one, if it's exposed, it will give a very good experience or not. If the structure, like if I want to do a very big cantilever, shall I do it, or the structure have other opinion? We all are architects somehow, like, okay, I will do, you find a solution
for it.
So, and yeah, we need to be somehow, because if you have a vision and we have to be a little bit solid. And I think that when comes the creativity of all other engineers and us to do something better. However, it is where we are, you now, like which side, not which side, like you are in design or construction or client. It depends what kind of thing that you need to take care of. However, of course, building or modeling in Revit while the construction in your mind, whether like, I will not say in schematic design to think about that, but however in DD, when you do the profiles or 2D element detail items, you have to know how this one is gonna connect and coordinate with structure or even within the architecture elements itself. Is it applicable or not, or just I'm adding, filling 2D elements? So
almost, I would almost want to add to that is probably just think as you would build it, right?
Yes.
Almost.
Yes.
And that's almost a rule of thumb, even outside of BIM world, as a general comment, is probably that we don't. It's also an experience thing, I think, because if you've never built anything on site, you will always have a gap, I guess, in knowledge of how phasing are done, what comes in, how do you actually build a wall, and then therefore when you're designing a building at stage 3 or 2 or schematic design, you would know that when you're designing a 20-meter wall, your wall is going to be thick. It's not going to be a 200-meter wall. So it's a bit of experience giving you, and then that sort of also relates to the BIM world. We got to be considerate. We got to think the many facets that it touches on is not just one discipline. It's also structure. It's also MEP. And then that's really cool. Right. So with all that being said, now we want to know how it's all integrated today and what we're looking at in the future. One thing you mentioned to us, which was mind-boggling and is something that I'm super interested in, is this whole digital twin thing. And I understand that's part of your thesis as well. So first of all, what even is it? What is a digital twin?
Like basically, like the simple explanation is like having a replica of you or the building or whatever in a digital world. So
metaverse.
Yeah, it's a metaverse. It's not only buildings. It's could be you, like as a person. They are using digital twin for healthcare.
Wow.
to assess the body health. Digital twin for the farms.
When did this start?
Actually, it's a long time ago. No, I was not long time ago. I did my master in my thesis in 2021, and at that time, the digital twin was starting to having this kind of talk. But I found that it's already have been started before that, and all was because we are in the not like the world of like the building and architecture. So I felt like the digital twin is just having a digital building in Revit or any other platforms. And I attended the lecture here in one of the university. I can say university, like Middlesex University here, by Dr. Noha Salib. She's really one of the leaders now in digital twin, and I wanted to know about more digital twin, and I found that there was many guest lecturer, and everyone talking about the digital from different perspectives, like healthcare, the farming, the buildings, all the things that like flights and aeroplanes, sometimes like they fix flights while they are here. In the NASA as well, like they have a digital twin replica of what they have for the space ship like here too, and they can fix it.
So is BIM an element of this digital twin world the human is building, or is this digital twin thing built for BIM? Is the BIM for the construction and architectural aspect? Is that like a plug-in to the digital twin? I don't know if that makes sense. Because
do we have any examples actually?
Yeah, because how far has this already gone?
Actually, for me, I don't have the practical experience in that one. I know because I did my thesis on it in my theoretical idea that I want how the digital twin can be applied. But it has been already have been applied already for the humans, like having digital twin of the body, and you have this like the file in the hospital for you, and if you have any indicator about your health, like whoop or whatever. So digital twin means like I have a real-time data about what I am replicated. So whether it's building, human, whatever, anything, like machine. So it's about having the real life data of that replica. So in our world, like as a BIM, so we use sensors to have all the live data of that building, like sensor of the light, sensor of the motions, sensor of the heat, all these kind of sensor. It's called IoT, Internet of Things, as well, connected to this Internet of Things. It gets all the real life data, analyzes it, and it gives you pure, valid, solid information from what is happening now. Here comes like the level of digital twins.
Yeah.
So we have levels, of course, of as a BIM or whatever, any kind of thing.
So the good example, I guess I'm going back to Bloomberg again. So I assume because Bloomberg is so interconnected, maybe the flood defense as part of the Thames, because I think one of the movies or shows I watched recently, they had like a whole control room, and as the water level was rising, the barriers went up, and then the boats were So
it is one of the examples actually. Like, of course, you will not get this data without having something
live
to indicate it.
Indicate
so the sensor here play a very, very vital role in the digital twins. The type of the sensor, it depends on what the purpose you need. So like for flooding, for example, like you have sensor to indicate how fast the water is, how the level of the water. So you can and connected, of course, this kind of information to the AI to analysis and give you what is happening now and what could happen in the future. So that's, I think, the level 2 of the digital twin, to know predictive predict what it could happen.
Yeah,
depend
the
on
protective
that
measures.
exactly.
Yeah.
Depend on the data that I got right now. And the level 3, I think it takes actions without human. So
Wow.
exactly. So this is kind of the thing like, okay, like in building, let's talk buildings.
Yeah.
If I have sensor connected to all the ECU machines and some of the ECU is giving a little bit of different noise, different heat, different temperature, whatever. So it will analyze this one during whatever 2 days or some days. So now you are in a level 1 of digital twin. You got the real information, and you got the real information. Level 2 is like it will send alarm to the facility management that this kind of ECU, this particular one in that building, that floor, whatever, it has an issue. You need to go and fix it, or you have to. Level 3, it will the digital twin like will send to the like the AI will send to the manufacturer or the maintenance or whatever. He will come without like any human interaction, fix it, or look at it, and that's it.
The future is already here. I feel like
It's
I'm in
already here, yeah.
I feel like I'm in a Star Trek movie where like, you know, you get a monitor and then basically it says like a little, as you were describing, that alarm comes up, like one of the gate has failed
Failed or
and then
something, yeah.
how do you fix it? That's incredible.
It is.
But then in a BIM world, I suppose, right this moment, how we're using Revit and how we building buildings isn't directly plugged in to that digital twin world just yet. So you don't really, so because I'm thinking putting my architectural hat on, I'm thinking, if we were to do, is it, you know, all the site analysis that we do, and all of the sun shining and stuff.
Exactly.
If we had a digital world where it reflects the current situation of the world, the climate and everything, then we can really produce a very accurate interpretation of what our massing will look like in terms of wind, in terms of sun, in terms of the heat gain. We're already doing that to a level,
Exactly.
but that would really take the building, its function, its you know, everything to a whole new level.
Exactly, but we like all these kind of analysis, like we are doing as an architect in the buildings, we are doing it pre-construction as well.
Exactly.
We are doing it, but the digital twin is during the operation itself. So it's kind of to maintain the thing that it should be designed for and predict something that could be whatever
Prevented.
Yeah,
even,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it has many usage. Like I think it depends on how we are utilizing it.
It's like NVIDIA. They've basically, I can just, you know, I'm speechless because it's endless.
Yes, it is endless.
It's endless because you can literally see a fire before it comes, or see a tornado, protect humans from a tornado or like a flood before it occurs. Were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say, should I get some water?
No, it's okay.
Well, I was gonna. So in terms of you saying you haven't worked on any projects yet on this, but do you know?
Twin?
Yes.
Yes.
But do you know of any examples that are already out there within the built environment space? Because I assume there might be some for cancer research, there might be some patients where there's indicators as soon as something develops in the body, it appears.
I know some of the hospitals in Saudi Arabia that working in like as a digital twin for the humans, but not in the building itself. But there's while I was doing my thesis, there was literally like no researchers, like because it's something new. No one has applied in the full potential of it yet. I'm not sure if it has been applied or not because we are like now we are in the era of the AI. Maybe it has been applied, but during what time I doing my thesis, when I start doing it, every 2 days something new comes. So it was a very rapid one, but it's all was working on, as I told you, like some of the ECU, how to integrate it in the and how to fix it in that way, like a very small portion of the building. I don't have an example of real building has been already applying it, but my thesis actually was working on because you know that I was in healthcare, and during the COVID, I was there in the hospital, and we needed to have extra isolation rooms because we need many isolation rooms and over the capacity that we have already now. And of course, we were brainstorming, we were coordinating with all the facility managers, MEP engineers, because it has to be as very specific a standard requirement of the air condition has to be a very like certain pressure to be inside to take not to take the virus and give it to it. So when you install something new, you have to coordinate all the type of the ducts to build like a proper isolation room, because it's a very sensitive things. So we did it after all, but it was a very stressful time. So I thought about my thesis. Okay, how now we have a digital twin. If I have a 3D BIM model, like live model, and like up to date with all the sensors we have from the live data, and we have the layout, the updated layout. If I connected this one, and I have, of course, all the ducts, I'm not talking about only the architecture layout, I'm talking about the structure layout, the MAB layout, because the renovation in healthcare is insane. You have to very be flexible on your design. So if I have all this live data and I have the updated layout and I connect it to digital twin, and if I want something happen like COVID or any disaster and we need extra beds, extra isolation rooms, what if I connected this one to AI, having all the live data, producing a different layout, generating a big considering all the other aspects that we filled the project, like the model with it. That what is the type of the ducts, what the type of the walls that needed to be, what the type of the floor finishes, because it affects as well of that place. So if we fed the model with all the data needed for digital twin to take decisions, it will be very easy for us in the future, like to generate different layout in a minute, and we can produce later. So that was my thesis in that time.
I feel it's super exciting, but also very scary at the same time, because I think this is bridging to the AI aspect, because what the digital twin, as I understand, it's serving is actually better integration, better connection, and faster, more efficient results, right? So the moment you plug AI into it and it starts to learn what we want out of a certain scenario, then the AI will be autonomously do it before you even need to ask. So for example, an outbreak of pandemic and you got continuously growing spread of viruses, the AI would take a previous model or something that you would actually look at how fast a virus could spread, how many people can be affected, and it will start generating layouts and MEP provisions for it as the time grows. So that fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh dimension comes in, and then essentially the AI can, and the one thing that we talked in our previous episode in AI is that the action part is, which is not quite there yet, but once they figure that out, an AI can probably design this in 5 years, maybe 10 years or even less. They can, but then is actually after they design it, the human needs to check if this space gives you the right feeling. But then is from the AI might even get to a point where they build a BIM model that is so detailed that
we are here already.
that we don't need to do it ourselves anymore. The scary thing for me, and a very futuristic thing for me, is that once he has integrated all of those steps, and then he can just 3D print. Right? And then he can just 3D print houses, or continuously 3D print the extra rooms that we require for isolation.
It is super possible.
And then, but by then, do we really need architects?
I'll let Ahmed answer that.
Actually, I think, we will be here forever.
Yes, I think our jobs are, I was listening back to the last episode with Ismail about AI, and I think, yes, architects will always be required because there's architecture, whether we like it or not, and whether people give it the respect it deserves or not. Inherently, we build the world, right?
Yeah.
We build the world,
Yeah.
essentially. So we can't, I don't think we'll ever get to a point, not in our lifetime anyway, where we are subservient to automated systems, where we just let the automated systems do its thing.
Yep.
Because there's always going to be some sort of worry or concern where you want a human to look over it. I mean, I was watching the video recently where Schindler, the lift manufacturer, they've got a robot now. So the human creates the lift shaft, and then a Schindler will come in and they install this machine at the base, at the lift pit, and then that machine just crawls up, does the holes, drilling, blah blah blah, and makes a lift.
Crazy.
But I wouldn't feel comfortable going into that lift.
Yes, no, I would not.
But then again,
but that's the beginning.
Yeah,
until you.
People argue that the machines never get it wrong. You know, the code is what it is. It's black and white. They won't get it wrong. But with AI, it's machine learning. So it's not black and white. It can change. I mean, Anthropic recently released a product only to Apple, Meta, and Google to fix code because they found issues in code that human wasn't able to find. And then it then created another code as a result of it. So it's quite dangerous. You know, so artificial intelligence will take code, for example, fire regulation or accessible regulations, and it might end up manipulating it slightly somewhere, which may not then be correct anymore. So that's what I would worry. That's my worry anyway.
No, it's true because that
we'll always need human intervention. And someone to
we'll
oversee.
need a checkpoint. We'll need a human check. But just to think,
we will be not as many as we are now.
Yes, but
we will be there.
But that's where specialism, going back to Chris Williamson's conversation, that's where specialism is very important now, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Where if you, in fact, we can talk about that. So for students now that are currently in architecture, I guess maybe just being a standard architect, it probably won't be good in the future.
No.
You got to have a specialism, whether that's in BIM or digital model or integration of AI, for example. I guess your journey was through construction, then client side, and then but you always had BIM as a. So is there still scope for growth in BIM?
I think yes. I think you need to be specialized in something. You have to have your own and unique thing. When I worked in the client side and I saw the healthcare things, I was very fascinated with that, and I said, okay, it's my thing, healthcare. I will not change, and I love it. And many of my friends said, no, don't be that specialist. You will not go anywhere. Just this place. And actually, it starts with the BIM. Actually, Revit, I will not learn anything else. CAD a little bit, but Revit. That's it. But it led me to one of the biggest firms in the world. So I think you need to be very specialized on something. You feel like you find your passion on it while you are doing you will learn every time something new about it. So till now I'm learning a lot of new stuff about the BIM and about how I can implement it in a very futuristic way and how connected with the AI and everything. So to be specialized in something, yes, I think I highly recommend it. But at the same time, don't just be like that. You have to have a very, very, very
wide horizon,
yes, exactly.
not a tunnel vision.
So you have to touch base with everything around you until you feel like, okay, I want this.
And then for those, including myself, I guess now, if I want to move towards more BIM focused than design and delivery, for example, and particularly for students, what's the starting point? How do you get involved in BIM? Are there any courses or someone that we should watch on YouTube, perhaps, or
These young generations watching YouTubes.
But it's okay. It depends on what you want as a BIM. You are an architect, right? You work in Revit. Totally we are all working in Revit. So we have to work in Revit or any software that is using BIM. But depends on what you want from BIM. What is BIM for you? What means for you? BIM as a coordination and to some people no, I don't have this capacity to coordinate with architecture, structure, mechanical, or just to coordinate the data with a cost consultant, with a facility manager, with a whatever. So it's I think it's a journey. You have to take it until you feel like, okay, this is my career.
Yep.
I would not recommend taking a career because BIM now is required, and like there is like they have higher salary or whatever. So I want to be BIM. No, I would not recommend that, because you might find your passion in something else, and you will gain like triple the money of that specialist. So I would recommend to go to any specialist according to your passion. Like, but you have to see, like, to touch base with, and you understand what is BIM, what is design, what is digital twin, what is everything around your career. Because some people from my university now, they are project managers, they are designers, they are app developers, they are like different things, and they are super talented architects, by the way. So, but they found, yeah. So some of them, like now, he's mastered the pottery. Like they are, like now he's selling his unique sets to them. So.
Talking about passion, and we know that, and I think that's why we looked at each other. We know that one of your other passions beside BIM, beside the whole digital aspect of architecture, is photography, and that is something so real, so physical. You know, you're capturing the real world. Is it because that? Let me put a pin on that, right? So you got the physical aspect of photography, and you taking the picture, you taking a moment of time, you preserving that, right? Put a pin on that. Is this because you have seen something that we, the ordinary architects, hasn't seen, where the BIM is moving towards to?
Wow.
You just got so philosophical and so deep.
No, because there must be, because you deal with it every single day.
Yep.
You see it from day in and day out. You know, all of the facets and everything. Where is the future of BIM? Like how? If I was to give you one sentence or one paragraph to summarize what you can imagine in 20 years' time in the architecture industry, how would you describe it? I know it's just take a moment to think about, or take a moment to, to fathom, like, what would that vision be? You know, it's, for me, it's unfathomable. It's something that I cannot comprehend.
No.
And that's good. Sometimes.
But it's scary.
No.
No?
I mean,
don't be scared.
I mean, not to get all religious, but in our religion we have a saying where alimul ghaib.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't have knowledge of the unseen, and it's fine, and we simply accept it.
I like that.
That's part of our life, I guess.
Yeah, I believe so.
You don't need to know everything about everything.
But no, be bold. Go, like, make us shocked. Like if with everything that you've experienced and where is this going?
For me, I feel very optimistic.
Good.
I feel very optimistic.
I feel better.
I feel like everyone will have something to do. Because it happened like long time ago when the machines has been started to do, and all the people like went to the street and like the machine will take over our career, and like we will not have money or not have homes or whatever, and they start even like to like kill some people or whatever because they are so scared about it. But here we are all working, we are having our money, are having our life, and we are happy, alhamdulillah, everything is good despite anything happening in the world. But I think these kind of things, it sounds scary, and it's scary, but we need to shift our mind how we utilize it in our favor. So I'm super optimistic of how it helps us to make our life a little bit more creative. Because I think it is giving a lot of options, which is kind of give you a little bit of limitation as well. I don't know. So it makes you feel like I don't need to think a lot. Sure, but at the same time, I don't want to depend on it. I don't know how I explain it, but I feel like it's a good opportunity for us to be creative with what is happening right now. So it is a lot, but how we can use it. So human is fascinating. Human brain is fascinating, to be honest. Like it can do anything. So whenever we have the situation right now, I think we can use it further in our favor. People started with a fire, and like here we are.
It's actually, yeah,
Let's
I
go on.
love that, yeah, because it's using the AI, the technology, the future to build a better future, to give us more time back to
Yes.
ourselves,
Yes.
to do the things that we enjoy, albeit
Yeah.
the things that we enjoy should be what we're doing every single day.
And I was going to say, I mean, if you look back maybe 100 years, 200 years ago,
Yeah.
the role of an architect has changed drastically.
Yeah.
20 years ago, an architect would be on site chiseling away
Exactly.
and you know, making things. Now it's become, and then in the digital age with software, CAD, BIM, now we work primarily desktop.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, I don't know, we could be wearing Oculus headsets or whatever, and we might be in
Yes.
this digital world,
Yeah.
quite literally designing. You know, just think in an optimist side. But I think ultimately, my takeaway on that is that yes, AI and BIM will be at a really high level, but it does mean then the role of architect changes slightly, and we'll adapt to it. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
One generation might struggle,
Yeah.
but future 10, 15, 20 generations might thrive as a result of it.
They will.
And
They
that's
will.
part of life, isn't it? Survival of the fittest. Look at anything, you know, in history.
I would say rather than survival of fitness, I would say
Survival of the talented.
No. I would say it's more of like together we build a better world,
Inshallah.
and that's hopefully
Yeah.
that's what we want to, hopefully.
So let's end on a positive note happy
okay,
note.
let's go back
about photography.
Yes.
Let's take the pin off.
We go back to the pin.
Okay.
With why photography? Like I would really want to.
But you mentioned about like how we connect, like you connected to the BIM or the words. Like I remember my because I like photography like since long time ago, but I wasn't like that much using it. So my graduation project was not a museum; it was an exhibition, art exhibition for photography. So the concept was I have a very solid box from outside the building. It's like very flat with a very few opening. But once you go inside, it has a very dynamic movement inside the building. And I used that Mobius, if you know, the Mobius to do this kind of journey to take you from that point and to where you go all down and back to the same point. And it was the idea and the concept is like when you take a picture, you can see it is solid, but it has a lot of life inside it. So once like when you see picture and you play the video afterwards, like it's a solid, and you can feel the life, and it has a lot of life stories around these people and this movement and like. So the concept was like I have a building, it's a very solid, very still, but inside that building it's very lively, and I think this is how I see the photography, like capturing the moment, and that inside that moment there is a lot of life, It's lively. It's a lot of stories. Everyone in the picture has his own story. Each look, each movement of that person, it has something. The bird that's itself, like how it's fly, how it's move, how it's swing, how the sunset actually, like the winds. Like I feel like that's what makes me feel like okay, I want to capture this moment with this. I'm not into videography, but I feel like I'm into just the still moment that I can feel what is happening behind it.
So, and I do actually see that on all of his photos.
Yeah, and that's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you
for people that are listening, do you please check Ahmed's picture?
Really appreciate that. Really appreciate
we'll leave an at the handle of the page. It really is. You can really tell that it's something that your eye perceives and you wish to capture, so that moment is captured not for eternity, but it's
It's not that
beautiful.
good, but yeah, but
No,
it's
but
just
it's
like
beautiful.
And
It's the
an
beauty
art.
of the perceiver.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how other people interpret
So
it.
how you capture that space, that
But then
movement,
how does that
emotion.
link to BIM? And I'm just joking.
It doesn't have to.
it's like it's my
No.
cloud, like outside of the BIM,
Yeah.
out of the office. Like I just recently bought this new camera that is that's Fujifilm, and I wanted to go out just to not distracted by the phone, because I used to just take picture with the phone. Of course, it's a very expensive justification just to be away with the phone. But I loved how when I just go out for just taking pictures, I loved how I connected with the camera, with the people, with around it, and the use like even the selection of the camera, like the lens is a very fixed. You can't change it later. You can't zoom. You can't do anything. So I have to move myself to to take the right moment or the right picture that I want to, and it
It's
makes me
that connection that you have.
yeah, exactly. It makes me go out of my comfort zone, like to be very close to like the subject that you want, like person also. Like you feel like okay, and like you get some looks. Sometimes you feel like okay, but it's nice. It's nice experience. I love it.
Yeah,
So,
in order to capture that one moment, you have to physically transform some ways
yeah,
to
exactly.
do it.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
I think that's beautiful.
It is. It is.
Wow. Thank you so much.
It's been an incredible episode, and definitely a mind-boggling, but also an eye-opening episode. Where I mean, we both didn't know there was beyond 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. Now I've learned something new, and I hope our listeners have also learned something new. And we've got some further exciting conversations coming up. And if there is something that you guys are interested in, please do let us know. This, at the moment, is simply what Daz and I have interest in, and we're talking about them. So please do give your recommendations down below, and we hope to catch you in future conversations.
And we want to really thank you
Brilliant.
for
I know.
coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's a really absolute pleasure.
And you're a great speaker, by the way. I think you should do this more often.
Yeah.
Really? No,
Yes,
thank you.
absolutely. Genuinely.
Now that you will go out there, some of these, because we will generate a lot of these clips, and then you will go out there, and then they will be, hopefully it will give you more opportunity as well to teach, to be the advocate that you are for BIM. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me, and thank you for this really nice opportunity to just talk with you and sharing some little information like with you and with anyone. So I'm really glad. Thank you.
We're all going to
let's
clap.
do it.
Yeah.
Ready?
Make sure you do it. 3, 2, 1.
Perfect.